In my music, and in a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. It's time for a change, gotta bounce up. The oppressor's about to get tossed up. I'ma lay him out, execution style's too late for an apologetic claim. You wrapped in a cloak of blame by God, it's overdue and your time is in the end. Locked out silent without sin. He quote me on the planet for justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled on, with suppressors attached in the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger prophet like Farrakhan, backed by the honorable who sits at the pinnacle, who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the plentiful sinful. My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protected servers. Quick to pull the Glock, blast and kill. This don't take any type of skill. I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand. Or kneels too late when the caps get peeled. Don't believe in GC type. Going hits close to home. You gotta act the bone, but it got the dome when it's on the zone. All red of my vision through sight. It's killer be killed whenever I fight. From above I'll be given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' get them all, so gon' pass the kite. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? Gimme. Push. Step. Crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped.
And I pray I'm not found hanging out on the tree. What's the deal with this guy? He got the devil in his eye. I'ma stand my ground and I am not gonna flee. My daddy told me stand tall when I'm walking the street. And I might intimidate some of the people I meet. But damn, I never thought I'd be stalked by a man with a gun. I'm just a kid with the Skittles in hand. It's not God's plan that I live a short life, but I am doing my best to avoid this fight. But I'll be damned if I run and beg and plead like a punk. You wanna know the outcome? Let the music pump.
Let me stop. Too old for that shit.
Hey, what you doing over here? We had a lot of great cans from the studs drinking beer. Admitting sin, your hood met you little thuggin'. Oh my God.
That should be on the radio right now.
Before long, he and I was straight tussling. He has the upper hand. I'm fighting with the grown man. And that got that he packing. Yo, I need it in my hand. Hey, who the hell are you? You go questioning me. I wanna be cop is the impression I see. If you put down the gun, I guarantee you gonna run as far as power over me. I'm not giving you none. So if you're looking for a fight, I guess you got one tonight. All I'm trying to do is live with all of my might. I guess they bullied you in school. You couldn't wait to get a fool. When it's all said and done, you be looking like a fool.
You know they got that from us. See, I told you I got boxes of these, bro. That black light.
Let me get some of that right there. Yes. Come on.
I'm trying to find this documentary. I'm having a hard time finding it. For those who don't know, the so-called it's kind of huge news for the 2A guys. The judge blocked the ATF rule. ATF need to go and shut it down because ain't nobody giving up nothing. And people gonna do what they want to do with their firearms. Damn Zionists. Even though we know a lot of them are in their pockets and they want to stretch it out so they can be really ready, people don't care. I know 5 people that came down with cancer all of a sudden. Young. And a couple of the teens are kind of going blind.
It's a long stretch.
From the Navajo Nation.
Until the young ladies, they should save the sets. Until the young guys not to break their necks.
Can't fight it, can't see nothing.
Get the paycheck. And real women really don't.
Well, notify and let people know we over here. We hitting it. Now I spoke in chat. It's like 15 brothers and a sister. So whatever's whatever. You know what I mean? Some people are real with it. Some people are. You know what I mean? I was gonna go see that movie, the new Planet 8 movie. But I said, you know what? I'll go tomorrow during the matinee, I guess. Because I dozed off a little bit. This came from outside with him. And everybody's out there getting to walk on, jogging and stuff. I was actually practicing going form blocks on my grounding tree, and they can hear it. Boom. Boom. I mean, you know, your bones get hard when you condition it. So I was out there, boom, 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 Wing Chun, but it's just conditioning. You know, it's like when you block somebody, you can handle it. You know, your arm is like still, but you got to do it like 20, 30 minutes, at least twice a day. Your arm gets bruised up, and after a little while, if you don't use ditchow, your arm, they can become like steel, yo. I can't keep hitting McAwar past my wrist, you know, but this hand is, this one, I don't want to make anything bad, so I do conditioning, just conditioning, you know, with rawhide, and, you know what I mean, like, there's a lot of scratches on my knuckle, but I attempt to keep my knuckles as best as possible. I still got teeth marks in my knuckles. I still have teeth marks all up in here. Those are teeth marks. I'm not bragging, I'm telling you the truth. I got a whole lot, I got scars from my child abuse. Yeah, that'll be with me, I guess, until I give this thing up if I choose to. So how's it going, everybody? We're going to go ahead and get it started. It's been like 12 minutes. I set this up roughly, I set up about 45 minutes ago. I wanted to take him outside, so I made it for 4:30. As you can see, it's a little past that, I believe. And we got about 14 minutes of music. So the judge stopped it. Well, puts a block. It doesn't mean, you know, this is the system that they play with. I don't care what they're doing. Neither party. You know, I can say, you know, right now I'm looking at on Facebook and I'm watching, surprisingly, certain individuals push their African indigenous roots. Fine. If you know that much, fine. But what's troubling to me with these young cats in New York and these little states who marry Mongols and stuff like that, I have no problem with that. Love who you're going to love. If you, by the term of love, what they are ignorantly groomed into. Compatible and meant to be together, it's not even, we can't even say it's outdated because nobody participates or practices the truth of relationships. But to see them when you get this little knowledge and your ego takes you into this another plateau, you see them arguing with people, some people who I really don't like Phoenix Moon and other. Yet these people knew some of my good people who were part of my mother's side's clan or family, not so much clan, but they get caught up in this Africa and they don't even know the real, and some will say Atbulon. That's not even a real name too. That's another name used at a certain period. But majestically, it's pretty disturbing. I mean, I enjoy it, not like drama. I enjoy it because it shows the turbulence that a lot of our people are going through because of certain insidious creatures moving within the windows and walls of your existence. And they really think that just going to South America or going to Egypt is the answer. They haven't been nowhere. They know nothing. We've got pyramids in California. We've got pyramids in Utah. We've got pyramids here in Arizona. We got pyramids everywhere. We got old establishments, buildings. We got ghost towns. How many of y'all ever rode through a few of the ghost towns here in so-called America? No, I mean towns, cities that were built, never utilized, except for training for special forces or rangers or whatever. How many of y'all ever rode through these major metropolises that you don't even see on the map? Bet none of you have. Y'all know nothing about your land. No, there are real cities. We're talking about things built, a few moved into, and then they were removed because of certain toxins or whatever the excuse, which usually is more minerals or it's over top of something. They don't want nobody to maybe suggestively dig in and fall through and find. Plausibly. I'm not even saying allegedly because nobody has spoke on these things. But you see these individuals, they get their little photos and they look at me, I'm at Machu Picchu, I'm at this, that, and all. It was a lot of them. And then they talk with the locals who only have a synopsis of the true history. And they utilize that to paint, I got the answers. And they have absolutely no idea. Okay? So be mindful. I'm not saying don't subscribe to a person, don't listen to what they got to say. Remember, it's puzzle pieces. But these people, I even went over to Flippy Floppy and challenged anybody. If you want to, come on over and I'll set up a podcast so we could debate all night. Because a lot of people talking stuff they know nothing about. Whenever I hear somebody say black, Africa, American, first thing I go is, oh boy. First thing I do is I dismiss those three right off the bat. And right there is the illusory of the illusion that they don't know nothing. They're going to speak hypertensively, dramatically, emotionally, steeped in deep feelings, as if they know what they're talking about. And their frequency's off. So right there, like, even like a boxing match, I will already have them in my pocket. And not only will I challenge them, and because most people, what they resort to, especially indigenous groups, so-called indigenous, well, at least I know my tribe, and it's the way they talk, especially the liberal ideology. I know my tribe's history. Well, then so be it. Whatever it is, factual or elusive, so what? But you don't speak for everybody. Just like me, I don't. But I can call everybody if I want to. So I figured I would just share that. So be mindful. These people doing these little stupid arguments because they have spitefulness or people said things negative about people's other halves or relationships. First of all, when you marry in it's a religious ritual, don't even attempt to debate me. I don't care what you think you found. When I was talking to people about the bust of Columbus, which was based on a religious deity that was sanctified in a made-up narrative to fictionally characterize somebody that didn't exist, and then have people come into it to create a condition of societies of secret orders. Oh yeah, the bust of Colombo. Okay, because we all know that Hernandez Zarco was a real individual who was very dark melanated, and his two relations with a number of other relations who were all melanated, with a couple of the Chazars, who what you would call the principal so-called leaders of certain organizations, to go with them to meet these new people they never met. Like I said, when they say aliens came here, well, I wasn't playing, but I'm not here to get into that definitive narrative. You need to know that you can hide individuals or groups of individuals. The enemy of enemy can hide anyone. Give them a role to play, knowing who you are and knowing exactly how to deal with you. Because trust in me when I tell you, the Chazars don't know how to do anything. They have been led. Now, the story of giant killers is no lie. The truth is, how many of them are fearful and said they wanted to assist in getting back. You know, it's not just rings and bracelets and boots that are damn near, 5 and 6 feet long. Real ones. All right? Found all over. All right? You're still capable, and they know this. They'd rather have some foolish puppet, some consort taken from somewhere else, plausibly, maybe. Something genetically reshaped, maybe, and said, this is what we're going to do for you, because we're not going to tell them what these critters are really can do, but we're going to see if we can poison and toxify and lower that threshold so they can reach that peak in the most ominous of times. The mistake they made because they didn't know. They're killing the body, but the body can intuitively be rid off, and what you truly are can arise beyond the occasion. That's all I'm going to say there. Let's get into reading. DNA of the Gods and Wars of the Anunnaki. I may read a little bit of that because it's quite a little bit of reading. Not a lot, but it's quite a bit. So I want to get through this, okay? They want to, I don't know, did they hijack it, y'all? Put them one up, y'all still here. Put them one up because, they do that, and all of a sudden they want to hijack everything when I say key things because they're so scared. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense, but it does to me. Put them one up. All right, Delusions. The movie was so, okay, 300 years in the future, and it's like 3 hours. I'll wait for it to come here and watch it before I sell this. If I sell this, then I'll still have a DVD player. We'll get what I'll do is one day we can get together and chip in like $25 a piece for down there with the hot tent. We can set up a big sheet, or we can make a plywood one, paint it white with the movie film, with the silver, the black, prime gray, silver, black, then a base white, and then a solid, I think, latex kind of canvas top, where we can actually have a projector. I forget how much they cost from Walmart. I think they're like $300, $400, $500. The projectors that you can hang or flat and put it up like on like a 12-foot screen, and we can just get the DVDs and watch the movies. Like everybody sit down like a movie night with comfortable chairs, outside and watch movies, because I am tired of all this stuff. So I still have that account. I have a few. And we can set it up, and we can go ahead and you can deposit. Everybody can deposit $25. We can look at. I can pull one up right now. All right, I don't want to get into reading here, but I can pull up one right now and see what they have. I'm not going to do all that. Oh, ew. All right. Okay, so they have, oh no, we're not looking at none for no 80,000. So they have projector with Wi-Fi. We have the Epson Home Cinema for $599. We have the 20-foot GM 20-foot inflatable portable one, which is like almost $200, which I've seen those are pretty cool over here in the backyard. They're used for the kids. They have the portable drive-in movie theater for $479. They have the autofocus projector, which is for $159, which is pretty decent. I've seen the Lumen HD, the bright one that you can put your TV, you can put your phone with videos or your laptop or whatever, hook it in with your cable, and you can project it up on the wall, which that's pretty cheap, but I'm not messing with Temu or anything like those. Now, the other one that I like is the stand and tower as far as the projector screen, which is only like $119, but it's easy to make too for less than like $45, $50. And then we have the outdoor projector, mini projector, which is like $60, but we don't want to get that's cheap with the remote. That's kind of cheap, so you probably have to buy like 5 or 6 of those. We can get the inflatables, which are pretty nice, but the weather thing is my thing. If you want to get really good ones, you're going to pay over $1,000, even up as well as $20,000, but we're not doing that. We're doing it for us to have a good time. Okay, we can get the Mars 3 for those who know, which is anywhere from $600 to $1,000. The Elite Movie screen kit, that's from if you're rich. Now we can get the outdoor waterproof Gobo projector, which is pretty awesome. I've been looking at that a little week ago. So we'll get into that later on if people want to talk about doing that. Now there was a couple at Walmart I saw priced around $5.99, $7.88 or something like that. I like that. But like I said, for all of us to enjoy together, like I said, I'll keep a lot of my movies. But what I'm gonna do is, as far as my DVD player, the small one I have upstairs, that can hook to that. Put DVDs and then project it on a man-made screen that we can actually cause to fold and store away, or put a cover protective and lay it down. That's just letting you know, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get in reading. Appreciate that, Max Omac Delusions. All right, appreciate everybody giving me that shout. All right, 3 hours long. That's long. I'd rather watch Dune. You know what I'm saying? But I'll leave the chumchukma, everybody. Much appreciated and much respect. I'm just gonna go ahead and get in the reading, okay? Because I ate. I took a little 30-minute nap. Took him outside. Yes, I was gonna go to the range. I let the range come to me up here and I'm actually gonna stand up and practice dry firing. For those who aren't aware, it's a very good thing. I can't handle the firearm on the line, but by their narrative, okay? But I'm gonna practice that and practice some draws from the hip, and then put on my holster and practice from there. Empty. I actually have rounds where I can practice with charging, slapping all that safety pause, but I'm going to practice that for about 30-40 minutes, so I usually do that anyway. But let's go ahead and get into this. I wanted to read these two over here. Excuse me. Okay, let me see. Some of this you got to take as a grain of salt, but be mindful to pay attention. So we're gonna 100 Years of Lynching by Ralph Ginsberg. Y'all know the book, okay? Remember, we read this not to incite anything. It's unnecessary, because most people knowing about all these lies of history and everything, and the things that are going on with police being trained by Zionists to be murderous, and nobody's really paying attention to that. Oh my goodness, this person is an idiot. Anyway, just sending me all this. I told him stop. You talking black and this, that, and another. Mentally, people are gone. Sadly. Anyway, it's a fact, and it's true. And these people are going to keep playing around because you have certain melanated people who push for that. And you've got very sick, jaundiced mind type heart individuals. Anyway, so we're going to get a Montgomery Advertiser, December 16th, 1922. You see a very common pattern, don't you, with this? Cleared Negro, also lynched. Now, a lot of you know what Negro means, and it's a very, very bad word. It has no real meaning whatsoever, and it shows you contextually these fake Jews push this narrative. Perry, Florida, December 15th. The second of 2 Negroes arrested Friday in connection with the murder of Miss Ruby Hendry, to which we all know that majority of these light-skinned people were murdered by their own people. Anyway, murder of Miss Rudy Hendry, school teacher, the previous Saturday, was lynched last night when Arthur Young was taken from the officers as they were attempting to transfer him to another jail. Charlie Wright was burned at stake Friday night after a mob of several thousand men had taken him from the officers as they brought the 2 Negroes into town. We're talking about a cleared person, brother. Okay? You need to know and look their names up and see that they own land, farming land, equipment, even small storefronts, which would be the original grocery stores which we today call corner markets and stuff. open markets. Wilmington, Delaware, advocate, December 16, 1922. Posse lynches innocent man when thwarted in its hunt. Streetman, Texas, December 11th. A posse was unable today to track down a so-called Negro who allegedly attacked the wife of the local sheriff. The posse tracked down the uncle of a Negro who was suspected of the crime and lynched him instead. So whenever you hear one of these woods, and we say that word to be deplorable, show them the deplorableness. You don't have to have all the information to know that some of their bloodlines run with these bastards. And some of these people have melanated in their family, though they're not unmelanated, they're just groomed and conditioned in a whole lot of foolery, as you see today. Okay? You don't need hate to venerate justice or anything. You need to learn. You need to be able to equip. You need to be able to master science, like a cancer, like a tumor. What is protection? How not to deviate from it, and to be on it in a form that requires the greater of you. Okay? I ain't turning no damn shake either. But you all move in a way that is deplorable. You have to stop being situated norm, which is outside the norm, running around thinking that running around as a lone ghost, it's going to be beneficial until you come into your true essence, till you acquiesce that. So, the Negro Project. And this is by Bruce Flannery. Margaret Sanger's diabolical duplicity of 5 Ds. I don't want to go all through that. You know, this just disastrous, deadly plan for so-called Black America, which is another terrible name. Every time I see these people talking about, I'm a black man, I'm like, do you know you're just killing yourself, you idiot? Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. I don't like showing her book. Y'all know what it is. Let's take it up right from where we left off yesterday. Eugenicists had largely fallen out of favor in the United States by the end of the Second World War, in no small part because Americans rightly associated it with the horrors of the Nazi Holocaust. Again, let me read that to you and pay attention. Eugenics had largely fallen out of favor in the United States by the end of the Second World War, in no small part because Americans rightly associated it with the horrors of the Nazi Holocaust. It's funny that they're doing that here, and the Jews want you to believe in 6 million. That's a distraction. And we already pointed all the gypsies, the Spaniards, that were murdered. Undesirables, right? And you remember, a lot of these doctors were Jewish in the government. You got to remember, Hitler's doctor was a Jew. Anyway, nonetheless, the euthanasia, a component, not only survived, it began to gather strength in the following decades and was finally voted into law. First in Oregon and later on in Washington State and Montana. Of course, it now had a new, more benign sounding title, physician-assisted suicide. With the exception of these states, euthanasia has yet to be recognized anywhere else in the United States. It's funny how they don't put America there. The Republic. This is what these Jews did. Okay? Fake ones. All right? The efforts of advocates like Jack Kevorkian, notwithstanding, it has, however, long been legal in countries such as Albania, Belgium, Colombia, Japan, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. Euthanasia was declared legal by Holland's Supreme Court in 1984. You cannot imagine the horrors of all the melanated people around the world that have been subjugated and murdered, and then their relatives who are light-skinned right along. You can't imagine the numbers. But it wasn't until 2000 that the Dutch Parliament passed a specific law allowing the practice. At first, only voluntary euthanasia, in which patients gave their consent, was permitted, but soon the law was applied to those incapable of doing so. Now, involuntary euthanasia, mind you, it is, as long as 3 witnesses would agree to the procedure. That's like this goofy red flag law, where somebody could say, so-and-so just walked in the house with a gun, and he had ammo. That's carrying situated the so-called liberals into Republican states, so when those parts that become liberal or quinine to look liberal, all those Republicans who live in those states were known to have Here they go. I'm gonna take it off the end of the Constitution with these fraudulent foreigners playing a role based on the unscrupulous education system. Just like when I pointed out the fact that the vice president, there's no vice president at all, doesn't even have the oath of office, and she's a Hindu, mother and father, no American Negro, no nothing there, put in position and selected because this dead thing, which is not the president at all, no matter what media and anybody else says, has a hard time accepting. Now, I am not big on the Republican or the Democrat side. But I tell you what, if I was to throw a vote because of what I know, it would definitely be for the other puppet, Trump, all the way through. And though he needs to get some get back, and you better believe he's going to use some of these dumb Negroes who are so quick, because he knows they're brainwashed. You see what I'm saying? But he has a role to play too, okay? I'm just saying. Everybody knows that he's going to win if that's the case, but they have to play another embattlement dictatorship-like role. They have to go after his life. This is all going to play out. You've seen it in some... I'm not saying this. I'm saying you've seen them. They always tell the story before something happened, right? Think about it. Okay? All right, let's go. Let's carry on. Euthanasia has been hotly debated in England for centuries, but the British have never given it the force of law despite the efforts of groups like the Voluntary Euthanasia and Legalization Society, that's the VELS, okay, which was established in 1935. And while euthanasia is presently illegal in Germany, such was not the case at approximately the same time. It as a matter of historic record that Hitler's Third Reich routinely killed thousands of its own people for a number of years under its forced euthanasia program, which was known as Action, or Acton, which was Action, T4, which we will examine more closely in Chapter 3 when we get there. This was in addition to the thousands of forced sterilizations of German citizens under its various racial purification laws, at which we will look more closely later on, okay? We'll get into that. We'll be able to bang on some things, and we'll be able to debunk some things as well, okay? Because you know when a Jew writes a book, they got to always put themselves in a role, even though they're telling a fact. They got to paint another picture, okay? For those unaware. All right, just gonna put a little highlight on it so we can mark, even though I put a bookmark of some sort. Oh, yeah. I need my lemon and water. I'm dehydrated. It got up to like 88 degrees up in here, and I had the windows and everything open. It's right now at 79 degrees. I know, but you got a sweatshirt on. Ah, shut up. Behold a Pale Horse, Mr. William Cooper. And I hope if you purchase this book, it's an excellent read. And even though I'm going through it with you right now. So let's go ahead and finish up these last few. Okay. All right. Excuse me. So remember, we are on Article 12. Okay. Article 12. We're in the transitional purpose, and then we'll begin to the story of Jonathan May. So, Section 7. Until governors and legislators of the new states are seated, their governments shall continue, except that the president may appoint temporary governors to act as executives until, listen to this, succeeded by those regularly elected. These governors shall succeed to the executive functions of the states as they become one of the new states of America. Hold on. Over here one more time. Dummies don't know that other people are watching. My apologies. I told you people are stupid, especially when they're okay. Anyway, let's go ahead. All right, so in the new states of America, become one of the new states of America, excuse me. Section 8. The indicated appointment, selections, and other arrangements shall be made with all deliberate speed. That's my boy, anyway. Deliberate speed. Now, Section 9. The first Judicial Assembly for selecting a register for candidates for the principal jurisdiction of the new states of America shall be called by the incumbent Chief Justice immediately upon ratification. Check this out. The first Judicial Assembly for selecting a register for candidates for the principal justiceship, it's like apprenticeship, of the new states of America should be called by the incumbent Chief Justice immediately upon ratification. Radicalization, that's what I say. Remember, they say ratification, we know it's radicalization. That's why they have these idiots who've been groomed and they don't care about the Constitution. Look at that so-called Negro African judge in New York. Talking about the Second Amendment doesn't exist here. All right. Section 10. New states electing by that's small. Okay. New states electing by referendum. When I say this is small, I'm not playing, though. Now, it's in my screen, right? When I say this is some small so yeah. All right. New states electing by referendum not to comply with recommendations of the Boundary Commission. Look at the Boundary Commission and see what you find. As approved by the Senate, shall have deduced or deducted from taxes collected by the new states of America for transmission to them a percentage equal to the loss in efficiency from failure to comply. You know what's funny every time I hear about taxes? And this is the comical part. Please come and talk to me about the Revolutionary War again. And the fact that was a lie. Anyway, so Boundary Commission, as approved by the Senate, shall have deducted from taxes collected by the new states of America for transmission. For transmission to where? To them, a percentage equal to the loss in efficiency from failure to comply. You could say that's kind of a punishment. Estimate shall be made by the Chancellor of Financial Affairs and approved by the President. But the deduction shall not be less than 7%. Now do you know why they killed our melanated? He was no president. He was a king. Lincoln. Old Abe. Abe Lincoln. Like, what peckerwood, pale skin, light skinned person is going to be called Old Abe? We know too many of them, don't we? Through families. Estimates should be made by the Chancellor of Financial Affairs and approved by the President, but the deduction shall not be less than 7%. What happened to the 3? Section 11. When this Constitution has been implemented, the President may delete by proclamation appropriate parts of this article. The taxes were supposed to have been long gone. Are they? World War II is over. Remember when I said about a certain actor, movie Vertigo, It's a Wonderful World, James Stewart, a very staunch racist. I think he worked for the Army Air Corps or something like that, whatever. And he made those movies, and he was a racist. Remember the melanated brother who played the cop next to some Goomba in Sanford and Son? He was going to be brought to make his movies. But yet in 1942, around 50, later on though, but in 42, 43 is when he made the statement, because they wanted to bring this young brother in. Because you got to remember, what, 18 years later, he's playing on Sanford and Son, 65, whatever, he's playing on Sanford and Son. And he said to the people, he says, why do we have to let them be in the movies with us? They already run everything, knowing that they were taking over. Isn't that part of the Reconstruction era? World War II and the fake UN was what sealed it, because the UN was supposed to be disbanded after the Hague or the what's called trials. This was the usurp and the takeover to create wealth, to further keep you from the secrets of your history, and to further them creating ways to embark on destroying you. I'm saying allegedly. Do the research, puzzle pieces. It all alludes to this, okay? Exposing the expositions, 1851 to 1915. Howdy Mikowski's revised 2021 from his 2019 Court of Honors in Chicago, okay? What happened to my picture? My picture went. Oh, it's right there in my face in the crib. I am so thirsty, y'all. Okay, excuse me. Remember we were hitting on after an earthquake and what's supposed to be compared to what isn't, and the fact that they lied, and because Photoshop was going on a long time ago. So let us talk a bit about the construction of this fair, as this one has the most photographs to date besides St. Louis. Many of the photos are of temporary wood buildings. Of course, that does not mean there were not also permanent buildings. Just that wood construction appears in the available photographs. Now, oh man, you can't even see that if I was to hold it up. I could turn that light on, it still wouldn't be a good picture. Available photographs, okay? Appears in available photographs. But again, the area surrounding any buildings is empty of all signs of it being a construction site. Fine, you say? They wanted stage photos with just a few men to show off the buildings. But with a workforce of 20,000, there would be signs of the leftovers of work going on. A cup left on the ground somewhere, a half of a sandwich, some nails, a hammer, something. However, the ground is barren of any semblance of work in the photos. Now, we already know what our European brother, and y'all know him, Bonacci said. If I'm pronouncing his name right. Y'all know what he said when asked about America and who built it, and he was talking, he says, you know the blacks built America. Everyone knows this, but a lot of you just don't know. We built it. All they give you is a little token. Oh yeah, y'all rebuilt the Capitol and the Franklin House, and duh, we rebuilt it after we embarked on destroying it. Okay, remember that. Now check this out. The book story of the exposition. Okay. The book story of the exposition, 5 volumes by Frank Morton Todd, put out in 1921 by Putnam and Sons, has many construction photos in the 2nd volume. Again, let me read this for those who like to buy books. The book, Story of the Exposition. It's 5 volumes. I don't even know the price of it. I haven't looked into it. By Frank Morton Todd, put out in 1921 by Putnam and Sons, has many construction photos in the 2nd volume. And it is quite clear that certainly many of the buildings are just what they say they are. Wood structures, including iron and steel truss roofs. Now, in fact, there is more steel going on into these buildings than, I have seen any fair prior to this one, save Chicago. But this fair also produces another problem when looking carefully at many of the buildings. Even in the supposed construction phase, they show signs of weathering, long-term weathering. Some are black. Age earthquake ash. Possibly, maybe, no. Why do many of the structures show signs of 50 or 100 years of weathering if they were simple staff and would have just been put up? Let me pull this up so we can see what it looks like, okay? I don't know if anybody did, right? Let me pull this up. Let me pull it up. I wouldn't mind having this book myself. So I'm not going to order it now. You guys are having a hard time just me getting a few of these other books. So let me make sure I put it in right. Yeah. Oh, why does it do that? I know what I put. By Frank Morton, right? That's the Jewish name. A Chazar name, excuse me. Oh, okay. All right. So, excuse, my apologies, guys. So that is no. We don't want that because then it gets Rasputin. So Rabbit's Rare Books. It's a $650. Holy shit! Rabbit's Rare Books. $650, y'all. Now, if you want to get the one little bullcrap one that's far from what it needs to be, even though it's rated around 5 stars, you can pay the $49.21. I wouldn't even bother with that book. Okay? Look at the date. Look at its prints. You can go and look it up in Amazon. I'm tired of dealing with Amazon, which is, I think, alluded to the Chinese, which I don't knock one of the Chinese brothers. I'm just pointing out a fact. Okay? So I'd rather get the one for $650, honestly. So online book pages, you can go ahead and pull it up. I'm not going to look at the price of it. Now, as far as Goodreads, I believe Story Day Exposition, which is wanted. Let's see. You could probably, I don't know if the PDF will be anything worth. But you can go ahead and sign up for that, and you can go ahead and you can see what you can pull out of it. As far as the narrative, I'm not going to sign in with that. So yeah, you may be able to read it. I don't know what the price may be at. It doesn't say ebooks. So that is another one. No. And then we got, where's it at? Where's Biblio? I have a lot of new things that I use. I want to get the original. So let's pull up this one. This one's at $600. Biblio is also $650. The original 5-volume books. I'm not lying. Okay. I don't think that's going to happen no time soon. I'll see what I can do to actually expedite and get that. So we'll see. Anyway, listen to this, that there even was a fair in 1915 should be questioned, okay? Over 30 countries sent exhibits to San Francisco while there was World War I going on. Granted, Britain and Germany withdrew and sent no exhibits. However, France still did. No one seemed too concerned about shipping expensive exhibits and priceless art across the Atlantic, because they didn't. In the middle of the biggest war the world had ever known, a war that included German submarine attacks in the open waters. You remember, Germany won that war. While they were busy over here destroying our lands and fighting us. Oh, there was still a lot of fight going on. Y'all know nothing about it because they won't tell you the truth. Otherwise, you wouldn't exist the way you do today. Okay? And that's a fact. And that's the reason why I read Facts Are Facts. So that way you can see, with World War I going on, and everybody buckling up, because it was also about killing a lot of autochthonous indigenous people around the world, whether you want to believe it or not. And yet people are still tolerating all these new age. No, the sins of the father have to befall them. And you should know that. It's just the way it's going to work anyway. Let's get into Heaven Bearers, the new age of deception. My tea is calling me, and thank goodness it's not hot no more. So no honey. Oh my goodness. And yes, baby girl Slaughter, you know I'm going to say this. Rise coffee is exceptionally delicious. There is a bitter taste because of the mushrooms. And it is an acquired taste. Not everybody, because it's gritty. It doesn't dissolve well because it's actually freeze-dried and ground up mushrooms. And those I love. Mud water I actually like because I still have the other, I have 2 more. And I still have the bad one. And I always say, sometimes you need to get away from the creamers. Because she had an excellent live. And I love what she was talking about. Because a lot of my friends who have had the Rise coffee, they go, man, what's that in my mouth? I said, just chew it and swallow it. It's the mushrooms, man. And then the cinnamon. Make sure that you get appropriate cinnamon, because a lot of cinnamon is not cinnamon at all. A lot of things are made with wood dust, whether it be in flour, whatever it may be, and a lot of that's coming out in cereals and everything. These people have really embarked on a thing, man, to really pervert the people. But Rise Coffee does have well, those of you, some of y'all know I use maple syrup or I use honey. But there are times like when y'all see me last couple of days drinking it, it's just the Rise coffee with a teaspoon of cachava warmed up, because you can make warm cachava, and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, because it helps with blood pressure and all that stuff for those who have it. I just take it just to manage because of all the bad things going on, the chemicals. And it is that, and look, see, all I'm gonna tell you, it does have a little, when you drink it all the way down, it's like a little gritty taste. And that's why the honey and maple syrup, I always put it when I make it for people. I always do. Yet I'm so used to eating bland and very, Carolina Reaper peppers, chocolate bouteille, ghost peppers. I eat that stuff raw, hot sauces. I mean, anybody that knows, I'll take crushed red peppers and put it on. I'll put it in a cereal if I was eating cereal. Cayenne pepper, I literally drink 2 tablespoons every other morning. I mean, I could take right now a tablespoon of cayenne pepper, put it in my mouth, swish it around, and let it sit there. And people be like, and it enhances my flavor buds, my taste buds. But she wasn't lying, y'all. All mushroom coffees, those I actually had a cup yesterday afternoon. Magnificent. But I won't use no creamers. The creamers are so poisonous and toxic. So I have to help people to understand certain things when utilizing. I always say, a lot of people go to honey because it's supposed to be very helpful. Make sure you're getting your honey from a very respectful, decent place where the honey is not from damaged bees, queen bees with the wings cut off, and it's natural. If you get maple syrup, get real maple syrup. I'm not saying go out and start punching holes and plug in, because you're going to need at least 55. You're going to need 50, buckets of sap from 50 different trees to boil down and reduce just to get a couple of gallons. I'm serious. It's an arduous job. I did it as an Eagle Scout, and I was like, we were tapping, and you plug those same trees, so you go back next year because it heals. And I was like, when we was cooking this stuff down with the nets and the bugs get in, and all the friggin' white syrup, the maple that we threw in these vats, these big half drums that were cooking down with and was cooking down to get this maple syrup, and it was on a little bit, and then it was making pancakes, and we was like, that was our maple syrup, and we had all these 50 big and then we got all these little jugs, gallon jugs of maple syrup, little bit. So, and if you ain't ready to do that, keep buying and trusting the fact that these people are going to do the right thing. Everyday dose, it is very, very, yes, it is very earthy, and that's what we need to get back to. Like I say, if you're going to eat steak, get you some kosher salt, Himalayan or Black Hawaiian, and just cook the steak in butter. Seriously. And then make sure it's medium well. So inside is pink where there's still iron and all the branched chain amino acids. And let it sit for 5 minutes, cut right into it and rub it into the kosher salt. You're getting potassium chloride, you're getting all the minerals, branched chains, even though just don't eat it with no rice, no white pastas, nothing white, no potatoes, no none of that. Just trust me. You will lose weight. You will start thinking that you're ravaging yourself, and it's not going to give you heart problems. Your cholesterol is going to go up, and there's nothing wrong with that. Stop believing in the system of lies, of purgatory, and allow yourself to see something different. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get into Heaven Bears, the New Days of Deception. Her trying to look all sexy, showing that brown skin off. Yeah, we don't do the white thing, y'all, nor the black. Different shades of brown, beloveds. And there were light-skinned people here with us. Just don't buy it. They had to divide 2 most powerful people that could stop all this nonsense, and they had to choose from the dumbest and the most goofy and the most downtrodden. When they said get rid of undesirables, no, they kept a lot of them because they knew that they would do the job that the people who had morals would not do. Okay. Traitor from the net. With shock, she leaves the book on the edge of the shelf and grabs the glass of water that was sitting in front of her. Inside of the glass was a simple drop of blood floating on the surface of the water, separated from it as if it were made of oil and naturally repulsed by the composition of its molecular structure or molecules. Something was definitely strange in this room, and she wanted to leave immediately. She takes a gulp of the water and leaves the room, not noticing the blood that wasn't supposed to be in her glass. Her mouth becomes sweet and bitter, almost dry with thirst, and it reminds her of a memory that she doesn't consciously have. The entire situation makes her feel uneasy, and she hurries back upstairs and climbs into bed. Tomorrow will be a long day, she reminds herself, and closes her eyes, falling asleep instantaneously. They say dreams are a continuation of your reality. A high-pitched female voice startles her awake. Her heart is beating slightly faster than normal, and both lips and throat are coarse and dry. Her neck feels wet, and she notices that her entire nightdress is soaking with sweat. Not yet quite awake, she wipes her hand over her face in an attempt to orientate herself and reaches over to feel if Malcolm is still asleep next to her. Her fingers meet his warm skin, and she can hear him exhale softly, continuing to breathe in and out in a relaxing rhythm. It is still dark, and the birds have not yet awoken to begin chirping, leaving the night air silent and devoid of movement and sound. A bright white light quietly appears in front of her, and she rubs her eyes forcefully, thinking she isn't quite awake. The light is coming out of the copper-brown mirror. Decorated with, copper-brown mirror, anyway, decorated with small flowers lining the triangular shape that forms on the top of the frame. I miss my family's mirrors and all those designs. Remember those with oak and teak and mahogany? If I could get those right now, man, those were originals. Anyway, it is mounted on the wall, positioned directly opposite the bed, and it is giving off a soft hum that vibrates right through the light. She looks over at Malcolm, hoping it woke him too. But he is still fast asleep and hasn't noticed anything. She wonders if she should wake him only to decide against it. Convinced that what she is seeing, I want to repeat that, y'all. I want to repeat this. Giving off a soft hum that vibrates right through the light. She wonders if she should wake him, only to decide against it, convinced that what she is seeing is nothing but random and meaningless events in a dream, and which bear no meaning or importance in reality. She closes her eyes and lays her head back down on the firm feather pillow, adjusting her head slightly while she grips the edge of the pillow and slows her breathing. Her eyes rip open once more at the sound of an owl shrieking with delight at the sighting of prey, and it reminds her of that night when she first lay with Malcolm. That sound of the owl screeching in the cold night air still haunts her slightly. A reminder of what things were to follow. Only a year later, she has heard this screech a lot lately. The eerie tones seeming to follow her everywhere she goes. Owls are a bad omen, she remembers Malcolm telling her that night. And she is suddenly very unsure of their trip back home tomorrow morning. She looks over at Malcolm and once more embraces for another high-pitched screech that never comes. Everything reverts back to silence suddenly, and she realizes the light has disappeared from the mirror. A clear sign that whatever she thought she saw was just a dream, or was it? I'm not going to read them all, but we're going to start getting into some good stuff. Cliffhanger, cliffhanger. Yeah, let's make sure. Yeah, tomorrow when we get in here, we're going to actually read about, what did I mark it at? Yeah, it's going to be a good little read of this. So it won't be no 100 years of lynching, just to let you know, okay? I'm doing that with a reason, because they're going to come and watch, and they're too ignorant to pay attention, and they don't get it. So hopefully you are, okay? We're definitely going to read Facts and Facts in the AM too, all right? Somebody asked me if I was going to read Civilization 1. I read the book. There are little parts that are in there I can use as coining terms or a refraction of a narrative or something. We'll see, okay? We still got a lot to read now. I got a lot of things to go over, certain other books to review. I'm just looking at the time that's permitted, what's going on, what's relevant, what's a requirement, and what could be just for the sanctity of having another abstract view of knowledge pertaining to who you truly are, which you should know by now. I think DNA of the Gods and Wars with the Anunnaki is going to illuminate. We're going to start from the beginning because a lot of people weren't here, and it's going to illuminate some things because I'm going to actually use both books to reference each other. Okay, which I wanted to do, but I wanted to read that with the Gods of Eden, this, that, and the other. We'll get back to Mississippi and all that, and the witches and all that. But right now, because I'm bypassing that, enabling you to respectfully see what you're truly capable of, ladies and men. Okay, gentlemen, y'all really, really need to pay attention, and you really, really need to apply this in this so-called physical apparition of your existence. Because if you just stay staunch in the physical, then you're merely just no more than an appearance, regulated to even how your concept of your thinking and thoughts. You will have not convinced yourself to move beyond that, because you have been stagnated by what they've done, and you have permitted yourself to stay in that little corner, in that what we call the triangle death or the kill box. Okay, and that is not where you want to be at. Okay, and you can still donate. You get them damn books. It's not going to kill you. If your problem is you fret on that, I can dig it. Okay. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that read. And yeah, we're right over an hour. I'm not going to go on here. If I go into DNA of the Gods and War of the Anunnaki, yeah, we'll be here, because most of my videos have been going over an hour. Even though this one doesn't have the numbers that I have over there, you would think they would come over here. Somebody go ahead on the other, on what you call it, and share this account. Share. You can actually pull them both up. Say, for those unaware, YouTube is being a booty with something that Red Wolf shared that's based upon facts, sources, references, and real information, and they're afraid of him. So this is the other account. Please come over, and you can put at Jim Lucifer Wooten Branch, my account, right? Or Jim, put that with 945, whatever, right? And that way people will see it, and they'll go ahead, regardless of what they're doing, because they're cowards, okay? I like to intimidate them in their foolish embarkment. You know what I'm saying? It's not a challenge. But anywho, I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. And yours, that was a great reading you had as well. You know, I go and check you out, and I had to subscribe to you from this one, so you got another subscription here from this one. I actually went and subscribed to a lot of accounts that I have not subscribed to over there, and I was like, just trying to remember, and I'm going back over there, and I'm looking at the subscriptions, and I'm like, come over here, and I'm like, God dog, man. But I'm not messaging or saying anything. I'm with hope they go, he hasn't read, and they come on over. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And some people have subscribed. For the people who have subscribed, I appreciate you, whether you're government or whatever. Appreciate you. Welcome. It's a parlay and partake. There's no hate. This is very tame. I'm not here to prove nothing. All right? Never have been, never will. When I state a fact, though, it doesn't matter what they think. Okay? The fact is for you. All right? They don't have control over nothing. They keep forgetting they're out of place, and that's why they needed a generation of another new stupids. Whether from my time, they're not, but from my from the X generation on up, all of them are just knuckleheads. Not all of you, but a lot of them that they're utilizing are just as dumb as they come. Oh well. So anyway, Omac, what's going on, beloved? T. Hines, yeah, that maple and cinnamon gives it a solid touch, right? So if I gave it to you regular, you'd be like, everybody knows that. And the thing is, why I put the maple or the honey in, you mix the cinnamon with the rise coffee, and it actually molecularly it changes the structure, so you don't have to stir it as much and get all that mud in the bottom. Now, mud water I always say if you're going to do mud water, definitely add some honey to it. I don't care what it is, all right? If you like goat milk, phenomenal. Now, it's mushroom coffee. You need to remember this. So goat milk is kind of heavy. But if you need to get some coconut milk, take about a tablespoon and a half to 2 tablespoons of raw Manuka honey made in you know, one of the places they try to whitewash. I can't even get the word. Not Fiji. Y'all know what Manuka honey is made at, right? So where it's made at. My apologies for not. Hold on. Let me see something. I don't think I have. I think I have one up here I haven't opened. But I watched this guy, Ab TV. He lives there himself. I don't know why I can't remember it. I feel kind of stupid that I can't call it off right off of the top of my head, you know what I'm saying? And I always get troubled with that when I can't do that. But he's a camper. I follow this camper. He's got million subscribers. He actually checks back. But New Zealand. I can't find the Manuka. I think it's in the back of the teeth because I didn't like the way it was made. Anyway, New Zealand. Go ahead and get your tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, little teaspoons of that. Mix it in with the coconut milk. So you're going to be stirring because Manuka is really thick, but you just got to do it so when the coconut milk gets warm, then you warm it up on the stove in some water in a pot. The coconut milk with New Zealand Manuka honey, you put that. Don't put a lid on it if you don't want to bomb. All right, and let it boiling water, and it will heat the coconut water and Manuka honey up, and it'll get it to where it starts seeing some steam off of it. Don't do it in the microwave because then you strip it of all its necessities. Take that with a hot pad or glove or whatever, pour that onto your mud water, your Raj, your Do's coffee, and add a little cinnamon on the top. If you want, get a vegan marshmallow. Boom, boom, bada bing, bada boom, boom, bastic. You dig what I'm saying? That's good stuff. So you still get the quality, the benefit of all the mushrooms, all right, and the benefit of the honey, and the benefit of coconut milk, which is electric. You get what I'm saying? Yes, New Zealand. Thank you, honey. Australia has yes. New Zealand. It is yes. So anyway, I appreciate it. Just want to shout everybody up. Ganja, I know I got you T up. Mac V. I know Snoop didn't come over. Baby girl, I guess she's been busy or whatever. So anyway, appreciate you guys. So Sister Sauce is going to come up and visit. So we're going to take it to the range. So if any of y'all show up, cool. If you don't, it's going to be me and it's going to be the ladies' day out. Or brother with the lady. And I'm going to let her meet some of the guys, you know. So she's going to have a good time. She's going to actually have a fabulous, let her meet some of the people, see some of the weird people. She's going to have a show her some of the things we got around here. But like I said, all of you, I'm heading down to Ganja. No way around it. I don't want to be below sea level, nowhere. I have brothers who have land all around Texas, Utah, blah, blah, blah. So things got to manifest. Tians, get your ass here soon. I know you're working with family, da-da-da. I know you're getting your stride and your bucks, and I know it's a travel. She's got to travel almost as long as you did, coming from San Fran, even like my daughter. So let's get it locked in. Let's make it happen. You gotta want to know, not believe, that you can accomplish anything as long as you put yourself to it. So you see, I didn't say heart, mind, and all that shit. Put yourself. That means your entirety. Because you can't leave your little toe and your pinky finger, and you can't leave your earlobe, and you can't leave a brush of hair. Most of us are blue ones in hair anyway. All right? So yourself. You must put yourself forth. And it's easy to stay comfortable. And look at it. This is nothing but an open coffin. It's abnormal. It's not natural. It's not harmonic. It's not balanced. Your energy, though, cannot be dissipated by it. You must illuminate yourself. even in the worst of situations. Okay? So, time is short. I'm not waiting to the fall. So you get it together. Whatever is going to be, whatever. All right? And yes, I have a fro. This is called, see this right here? This is called, there's no parent in my hair as you can see. This is called bear grease. So when people talk about, oh, yeah, because you got these foolish niggas in New York, liberal states, and all these other places talking about, because if you got an afro, you got to be from Africa. You just can't make this up. When it was known, the majority of those people couldn't grow really big afros, except for Eritreans, Ethiopians, and certain other individuals who were good relations. We were magnificent in our relations with every one of those. That history had to be removed. All right? No, we're capable of many things. And so the lie of history is exactly what they use, the arrogant, ignorant part of it. And the one that they've grafted on the people that they have a hard time in complicity escaping and makes it more complicated. And this is what we're dealing with. And you don't have to. All right? You don't have to. All right? So appreciate you guys. Share this. Ask the brothers and sisters, where you at? How come you ain't over here? Because see, they attempted to mark all of you and us, right? They attempted to censor each one of us. That was the whole purpose of this, finding certain things. And they better lay back and chill. It's not a warning or threat. It's a guarantee and a promise. They better chill. That's all I got to say. They've already made the threats, whether silent or out loud. And they better chill, okay? Now, I already set the candle lit at both ends. I don't give a damn. All right, y'all are that important. And I can say things that can rile people, but I'm not here for that. I want this to be very tame, okay? Because we're dealing with a lot of animals in this so-called world. So we must keep it tamed to keep them tamed, okay? And anyway, I'll see y'all in the AM unless something comes up. There's a couple of videos I'm gonna upload, and see you later. Come on, guys.